Hi everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's a pleasure to be back with you guys again today. And today what I would like to speak to you about the symptoms one will experience having a lower level entity, a dark spirit within your home. Some of my clients have mentioned experiencing palpitation. This is something that is very common among the persons that are being spiritually attacked or have a lower level entity, which is a dark spirit, around them. These spirits can be sent, or this entity was there prior to them moving into this home. There are different kinds of spirits, lower level spirits, even demonic spirits, that can reside within a home and turn a person's life upside down. So I'm going to give you some of the symptoms that you can experience yourself or within the home if you have one of these lower level entities residing within your home. There are times that it doesn't matter whether you do an exorcism or have someone cleanse your home. Sometimes there are people that have had to move from their home in order to get away from these negative spirits. Spirits attach themselves to material things and to people in a way that sometimes can be very, very difficult to remove. That is why these ceremonies sometimes tend to be expensive, because the person removing these entities is also in danger of having this energy attach itself to them. Most of the people that do this kind of work and send these dark spirits to harm someone or to destroy someone's life do not understand that when they are paying someone to do these things, these damaging works, karma will come back to both of them, not only to the person paying to do the work. Another thing that is very, very important to understand, me personally, when someone comes to me and says, I want to do something to a person or whatever it is because they're destroying my life, these things do come back to you. You can't defend yourself, and you are allowed to defend yourself. But like I said, prior to doing any kind of work, I always do a reading. I never go by what the client says. I am sorry, but I do not go by what the client says. I go by what my spirit say. If my spirit shows me that this person is really being the victim of psychic attack, of spiritual attack, of unjustified harm, witchcraft or black magic, I'm going to do everything in my power to help that person. But there are clients that come to me and they say that they're not interested in a reading. They just want the work done. And I have to turn them away because I am not going to take their word for it. I mean, I've dealt with so many people throughout my spiritual life, working this spiritual work, that are people that would like to just do unjustified work to others, just because they're jealous, just because they're envious of the other person, and they want to destroy that person's life. They just hate the person for no reason at all. And it is ridiculous, because sooner or later their own hate will destroy them. And sometimes when these things happen, they blame others. They say, oh, that person's doing something to me. But when you look in the reading, you realize that they are self-destructing themselves with their own hate and anger towards this person. Because when you cultivate anger and hate towards another person, you're only destroying yourself. So that being said, when I hear people that say, I am protected, nothing will come to me, I am protected, or it won't happen because I don't believe in it, and that's ignorance. That is pure ignorance. Those that say it won't fall on me because I don't believe in it, I call these people an easier prey. Why are they an easier prey? Because the person that's sending it knows that this person is not going to seek help or even think that they are being the victim of black magic or dark spirits until they start experiencing certain things and seeing certain things. Then they start believing in it, even though sometimes there are people that will fight this, that will say, I'm not seeing what I'm seeing, I'm not feeling what I'm feeling. I've had a lot of those clients that say, I didn't believe in this until certain things started happening in my life. So it's very important to just have an open mind about what these things can do to a person and how it can destroy marriages, families, and even drive people to the grave. I always say when you work as a spiritualist or in any spiritual path, you have to be conscious of these things. I mean, you cannot be heartless unless you work with the dark side. You cannot be heartless. You have to always place yourself and say, how would I feel if someone was doing this to me? Or when this comes back to me, even though a lot of people do not even think it will come back to them. And I always say there are some people like thieves. When they're stealing, they look to the left, they look to the right, but they never look up. God is always watching. Always. And sooner or later, whatever harm you do to others is going to come to you. So going back to the signs and symptoms, in order to know if you are being spiritually attacked or if there's a dark entity in the home, it takes a series of signs, a series of symptoms. It's not just one symptom, it's several that happen consecutively. You may start just feeling cold all of a sudden, just chills and cold all the time, unexplainable cold. I mean, this cold is totally different to any kind of cold. When there's a dark spirit around you, chills are different. These dark entities can attack you mentally, can attack your thoughts, make you feel worthless, make you feel like dying, make you think thoughts of suicide, bring on depression, anxiety. And also there are some people that have experienced even heart attacks, experiencing palpitations, and these palpitations get so severe to the point of having a heart attack. And that's why I say it's very dangerous. Another sign that you may notice, and this is if you're sensitive to energy, you may feel the energy in your home stuck. You can tell if the energy is not moving. This is something I notice when I walk into a place. I try and get a sense of how the energy feels, if it's flowing. And us sensitive people, we can tell when the energy is not flowing. Another symptom, person may experience moodiness and just certain bursts of anger, an anger that comes from deep within you. Anger, hate for everything. Everything irritates you. Everything makes you angry. Anything a person says. And this is followed by isolation. The person just wants to be alone. Any little noise bothers them. Anything another person in the home tells them bothers them. It just makes them angry, and anything will spite an argument within the family members of the home. This also affects financially. Financial problems one after the other. If you have a car, it will fall apart. One thing will break today, another thing will break tomorrow. This is something that happens when the house is haunted or there's a dark spirit in the house. Your light bulbs will just go off. Change the light bulb one day and then the next day the light bulb just blows off. And this happens very often. If you're feeling that there's a dark entity in your home, keep your lights on, because these dark spirits do not like the light. Some people, when they're being influenced by these spirits, they love being in the dark, because that's what these spirits prefer, to be in the dark. When a person is going through this, also, you notice that they start wearing a lot of black. They don't want to be seen, so they prefer to wear black just to hide. Another thing that happens is that they will notice that everybody pulls away from them. Friends, family members, they just stop coming around. Everyone just stops talking to you, or for any little reason will start an argument and they no longer be friends. People just pull away from you and you find yourself alone, completely alone, with no help at all. People will just turn their back at you for no reason at all. And this is a spirit, like I said, controlling everything. Once this starts getting more intense, you'll start hearing sounds in the home. You start seeing shadows, because sometimes these dark spirits allow themselves to be seen. If you see a spirit dressed in black in your home, this is not a good spirit. All spirits of light come in light, but not in darkness. You will not see a spirit of light dressed all in black. These signs and symptoms can last a person's entire life if the person doesn't seek help. I always recommend, depending upon the religion that the person is in, If the person is into spiritualism, to seek a spiritist. A spiritist can evaluate and give you a better idea of what's in your home or affecting you. That's why I always recommend that it's very important that when you move into a new place, cleanse the place. Don't go cheap on yourself. Sometimes we end up hurting ourselves more. When you move into a place that you have no knowledge of who lived there, it's very important to take the steps to cleanse the place. You want a happy home, a peaceful home. You want to enjoy all the benefits of your new home or apartment. So it's very important that if you're going to invest in moving in a new home, invest in cleaning that place. Because I have encountered some homes with some serious dark spirits, and then turn the family's life upside down, and the loss becomes greater. What will happen is that the family will have to leave. They have no choice but to move. So it's very important to find out ahead of time what's in there, what's in that home, how is the energy, or how was the energy of the previous homeowners. And the way to find this out is through a reading. I'm going to move to a new place, give the person the address, and they will check the place out spiritually, and they will tell you the energy of the home. But it's very important to cleanse, because once someone has moved, it doesn't matter for how long, the energy of the people, of the previous tenants, will stay there. So it's very important to remove that prior to you moving into that new home. Sometimes there are spirits that will refuse to leave. They will attach themselves to that home because they think that they're still alive and that is their house. And sometimes it takes a medium to help these spirits cross over. But one thing I'm going to tell you, there are others that just refuse to cross over. And the only option that you will have is to leave the home. So that's why it's very important, if you're going to buy a house, find out the history of the home, find out the history of the land. Because there are a lot of places that are burial grounds, and you're not aware of this. When you start experiencing these paranormal activities in the home, sometimes can be a little bit too late. These dark spirits can even make everyone in the family sick. I have heard of families that have died one by one because of these spirits that are in the home. And there's just people that refuse to leave the home. Let me tell you, I could live in a castle, in a mansion, and if there's a spirit that refuses to leave, I will leave him his home. My safety and my family's safety comes first. It's very important to have an open mind and be aware that these things do exist. And they do cause a lot of harm, whether the spirit was sent by someone or was already there when you moved. These things can hurt a person, and like I said, it can last years if the person doesn't seek help. This does not go away by itself, and it can destroy a person's life, lead them into alcohol, drug abuse, or even death if the person doesn't seek help. I hope this video helps you. I hope it helps a lot of people out there understand that these things are not normal, that they are low-level entities, dark spirits that are sent or can attach themselves to you or can be in a new home. This is not something that you yourself can get rid of. You must seek help. And if you don't believe, all I can say is God be with you, because these things do exist. Just because we don't see it doesn't mean it's not there. God bless you. God protect you all. Love and light.